So the first method is avoidance. The third method is transformation. Transformation of an evil thought is only for a person who's above it, who's higher, and is able to take it to a higher level. If you realize that you can't elevate it because you're still tied to it, nonetheless, al yipa liba bikirba, the person should not lose heart. They should be embarrassed and totally shamed at the time of service. A person then has to be in a state of joy. How can you be in a state of joy when your thoughts are in the gutter? Ela adrab. So he says just the opposite. Don't worry about the fact that a stray thought has come into you and you can't get rid of it so easily. Yischazik yeser. He should go ahead and strengthen himself. V'yesef oimitz. And have greater impetus b'kol keichai b'kavonas hatfil, with all of his strength on the intent of the prayers, b'chedva v'simcha yiser, with a greater and more intense joy, b'suma libay. When he thinks about the fact, kinefilas hamachshava zori mi'aklipa shebechol lasmoli, sheho'oisa milchama bebeinim nefesh alakis shabay. The reason why you're getting this stray thought is because the left side is feeling threatened by your kavanah, by your intent in your prayers. When you have intent in your prayers, what does intent mean? That you love God and you want to be connected to God, and that to you the most important thing are things that are godly. Oh, wait a second, the Yitzhak says, then you're going to forget about bagels and lox, and you're going to forget about Cholet, and you're going to forget about Las Vegas, and you're going to forget about Vin Scully, and you're going to forget about this and that. Hey, wait a second, I'm not going to have a good time. And so the Yetzer Hara suddenly thinks that you've abandoned him, and he feels totally lost, and therefore he's not going to accept what you want, because he doesn't want to have a bad time. He doesn't want to feel bad. And so he's going to push you to think about his good times so that he doesn't lose it all. He thinks he's going to lose it all. He's going to lose his whole life. So really, what is happening is a struggle between the animal soul and the godly soul. The animal soul wants to enjoy the physical aspects of life and wants to revel in it and think about it and dream about it. And the godly soul now wants to dream about holy things. And that's what's going to turn it on, and it's going to live a pure and holy life from now on. And the animal soul doesn't want that, doesn't want to have that as its reality reference point. And that's what's happening. So therefore, the animal soul is making a fight with the godly soul that's found within it. And it's known, it's known that the ways of people who are in conflict, those who are engaged in hand-to-hand struggles, they're wrestling with each other. When one tries to push the other one, the other one is also motivated with all. So when you go ahead and you're wrestling with someone, that other person feels that you're trying. You try your darndest, he's trying his darndest. You're weak, he's not going to try hard, but he's going to push you down. But you, when you try to push him, he's going to try to push you down, and that's what's happening. You're pushing with all your strength for your intent and godliness and loving God and loving Torah and loving to do stuff and loving to, and this is a pure and holy and wholesome life, but the animal soul doesn't like that. The animal soul likes to eat hot dogs and watch a baseball game. That's all it wants and cares about. And so, when you push godliness on it, it's pushing back with its animal nature, saying, wait a second, enjoy this more. And that's what's happening when you have the battle of trying to daven properly. But you can turn the channel off and focus on the prayers and not think about those things. You have that ability. When the godly soul tries to strengthen itself, and is forcefully spaled to pray, as a gamma klipa misgaberes kinegda levavela, then the klipa is trying to do the opposite, to overtake the godly soul, to throw it down, to cast down from its level by the strange thought shalom. And not like the mistake of the people, that they err, to prove that the fact that they've gotten this stray thought, that shows you that their prayers are worthless. If he prayed appropriately, these thoughts would not have fallen to him. But that's not true. You know why it's not true? Because the only way that there could be only one thought at a time would be if you had only one soul. But since you have two souls, each soul is sending its stream of its information and its desire into your brain. So the godly soul is sending the message of, we got to connect to God. We've got a lot of work to do. We've got to transform this world into holiness. We've got to go ahead and learn as much Torah and do as many mitzvahs and transform as much of the physical world as we can. The animal soul is shooting, wait a second, the colts and the saints are on, and there's this on, and that's on, and there's this desire and that desire. What about that? And the animal soul is sending the messages at the same time. It's two different souls. All you need to know is flip the channel to the good channel.